Lobtukto tashidele, yankia tashidele, kusudevu imbe, ani genla, kusudevu imbe la.
Drestele ngat debayi ani lobrukso drestele ani sindia la drestele kusu debayi be.
La genla, devu de kiain tujise.
Lasso.
Lasso, lobtukto, we are going to read today the vocabulary list for lesson chupshi, lobsen chupshi, lesson 14. And we are going to discuss also the structures in lesson 14 that are very simple and very nice to use in conversation. So it'll be a nice break between the next lesson, which will be a lot more effortful, but really nice too. And so Genla will start by reading the vocab as always, and then I will go on a little bit explaining the lesson. So this is our week number 6 and our day number 3 of the week. Okay.
Lasso tene tujise sindia la tene siksar loki siksar lobsen chupsiba kyunche clothing magdua. Lasso tene kyunche and then synonym is köche. This is not very common. You don't need to think so much. Just köche, pöche, tuglo. This can be the synonym, köche and tuglo. So tuglo is very common. Okay, here. Kötung, 뜨통, 함고. And some people also drop this la. They just use ha as a root letter and then ma, hamgo. Then they say hamgo. Okay, hamgo. So this is much easier, right? In colloquial, we just say hamgo. Then we say hamgo. If this is difficult, you just drop the head letter la. Just say hamgo. Lela boyore. Chartu. Tu is umbrella. Char comes from charpa. Chartu. And then becomes umbrella for rain. And then we have nitu. Ni comes from nima. Nima can be sun. And tu is umbrella. So umbrella for sun. Okay.
So literally parasol.
Oh, lasso. Chuba. Pel, sir, ngul, sushi, 아니, 천자. Tene nganzola jensi kashetu, zangma, zokpa, zema, zikbo, gashu, lembo. We have synonym is also chambo. Okay. Jambo. Supo. Tene nganzola chazik. Kun. People also use a lot without yata, just kun. Lela boyore, just kun. Okay. Ya. Tim. Okay, we don't need to use this pa. Just drop this. Okay. And then we have synonym sembujakpa. Ta. Okay, here's tapa. Also, we don't need pa here. Tine. Ani sarsong mangbomindu.
Let it. And we like this. This vocabulary is all about, the ladies will probably enjoy it a lot too, about clothing and different attires and different, accessories. So, okay, very good. So now let me open the lesson so that we can look at it together. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now. Lasso. 동기두개 again, la.
This go, Cynthia. Oh yeah, 통계도 단다.
Lasso. I'm just trying to make this a little smaller. There we go. Lasso. Okay, so lesson 14 has the topic of the connector tsang, which is how we say because or since in a causal way, or therefore. Those are the ways that we can translate it. Now we are giving you this little table, which is just to help you not memorize, but just to help you remember the conjugations that you already know really well for every tense. So you don't have to really get too anxious about this because you know it. It's just to kind of help you. Now, do you remember one thing that we studied in the topic of lesson 13, the conditional? And we've mentioned it today in class, actually, so you will probably remember it. What comes before the na is always in the dak form, never in shen. Okay? Therefore, it is the same thing with tsang. The connectors, as I was telling you, that there are several connectors we're going to learn, always take the dak form before the connector itself. So this is important. So you're going to see yin sang, and you're going to see yut sang, and you're going to see gi yut sang, and ya yin sang, but never re tsang, dug tsang, yore tsang, pa tsang, chung tsang. That doesn't work. Chung tsang you will see it, but not song tsang. I mean, song tsang is tendre song tsang is an expression, but you won't see it as an actual using the structure. As
it's not common, okay?
Exactly.
So yeah, sometimes this songzang can also use. Dukzang is also used, but it's not common. We just focus on here in this structure, and then that is fine.
Exactly. So it just means because, and all you have to know is that the sentence is actually the order might be a little differently than what you think. If you're translating directly from English, it doesn't work. So basically, you have, let's take this example again, I would read for us in a minute. You have here the first part of the sentence that goes up until tsang, okay? So this is the cause. And the rest, what comes after, is the consequence. So we call this in grammar a clause. This is a causal clause, and this is a consequence. So the sentence is always divided like that in two separate parts, in two different parts. And that's what you really need to understand. So that's it. Let's go straight into the example so that you know what we mean. This is really not a difficult lesson. So I think if you study these examples with the translation well, then in class we will do practice. But it's really a very simple topic, and it's really used in conversation. So it'll be kind of easy for you to learn it. Lasso.
Lasso. 당보디 내 조모 벼바 인상 nganyamdu pyoge she tupkire.
Very good. So this is what I mean. I'm going to translate it. So because my friend is Tibetan, okay? So the tsang means because, and we have everything that comes before is the because part. So because my friend is Tibetan, then we have the second part. She will be able to speak Tibetan with me. Nganyamdu is with me, as we've been doing lots of examples in class. Pyoge she tupkire. She will have the ability to speak Tibetan with me. Lasso.
Lasso. 출밭에서 낭출라 도낭 여장 벽에 장도 요래.
Very good. So same premise. So I'm just going to translate it. So remember, it goes up until tongue. This is a cause. Those practitioners want to learn Tibetan. So here I'm actually jumping a little bit. Those practitioners, and then I'm saying Pökejang want to learn Tibetan, and this is the part as why. Because they're interested in Buddha Dharma. We could also translate as because those practitioners are interested in the Buddha Dharma, they want to learn spoken Tibetan. You could also translate the sentence in that way. Lasso, Genla.
Tine lamga the yakpo mezang moda tang ne rotup siki mare.
So this road is bad. Lamka te yakpo metsang. And there are different spellings of lamka. So here we wrote lamka, but you can say lamka with just one ka also, so it's possible. So this road is bad, so, or therefore, it is possible that one will not be able to drive a car through it. I wrote through it to make a little more sense in English. So mota tangne, driving a car, dro tup sigi mare, meaning one will not be able to drive through it, drive by it, okay? Drive in that street. So that's why I put the translation like this. Lasso.
Lasso. Nego wa tezo tuzu tongba yozang Guru Rinpoche drupu jebare.
Okay. So those pilgrims had some free time. Therefore, they visited Guru Rinpoche's practice cave. So we have this word you haven't seen before, drupuk. Drup is a classical verb that means to accomplish. And puk is a cavity, a hole, which also is what is used for the word that is used for cave. So this is the meditation cave, basically, practice or meditation. I'm going to write meditation also so that you know, meditation cave. Lasso.
Tene amala kesa jaga la chinzang nga kala sakang la sagore.
So mother went to India yesterday, therefore I must eat at a restaurant. Meaning Amala is the one that always makes the food. So I must eat at a restaurant because otherwise I can't. There's not going to be any food at home. This is the context for the sentence. Lazo.
Dunda jema Rinpoche kachu nangya yinzang nganzu changma songju shuya yin.
So since Rinpoche, or given that Rinpoche, so here the sense means because, okay, is going to bestow teachings next week, we will all receive Dharma teachings. So we have the word kache and the word sungche that are similar, okay? So Dharma teaching, ka is the enlightened word or the honorific word, and sung is also honorific word or honorific speech. So these are two very honorific, beautiful words to mean the che, the Dharma, which is spoken, which is taught by the speech of a lama, of somebody with high regards, that we have high regards towards. Teapo, tene.
Kerangi tuglo sarpa mangpo nye yozang nge kerang la nyokimin.
You have loads of new clothes, so I will not buy any. This is what a mother would say to their child.
Konzo kungseng la gyokpo doya yinzang tingsang lega chea mangpo.
So they're going soon on vacation, so they have a lot of work to do these days. So here, there's a new thing in this lesson, which we are previewing from the next lesson that you will have tomorrow. Leka cheya. This yak means work to do. This creates the infinitive of che. And it's similar to what we have seen with kar, remember? To go somewhere for the purpose of doing something. When you say, I go to the pool in order to swim, or I go to the store to buy groceries, then this yak is the same function as the kar, but you use it with verbs that are non-motion verbs at the end of the sentence. So it's a lot more widely used. This yak is a very important nominalizer, and it'll be the subject of next lesson. So you will see it coming up. Lasso.
Na kong majen yakpo yinzang kala shimbo sotuku yore.
So he's a good cook, so he's able to cook delicious food. Okay.
Lasso. Tene kerang tukdo la pe matupzang kibo machung.
So you were not able to come to the party, so I did not have fun. Okay, that's the kind of sentence you would tell your best friend.
Okay. So here in number 9, we can also use kerang tukdo la pe tup mezang. Okay, there's two way of usage. Okay. So tup mechang or pip matupchang. So there are two ways.
That's true. I'm gonna write it so that you have it side by side. Mechang here. And the meaning is the same. So you have that choice with the connectors to put the negation before the actual secondary verb, because here we have a secondary verb, or just before the connector, especially in the past tense. All right. And then our last sentence.
콩라 김치 찍찍보 여장 강바짱마땅 쿠슨보 요래.
Okay, so here we have the chikpo that we just studied in our previous lesson 13. So given that she only has one neighbor, or because she only has one neighbor, the building or the house is clean and peaceful or quiet. Kusimpo can be peaceful or quiet. Okay, so now keep in mind, so we have the tsang in the middle of the sentence with these dak conjugations. Now the next topic is actually going to be the opposite of that. And it's nayang. You're going to see the same chart, but just with this nayang, which means even though, although, I should have written although, however. Okay, so this is a contradiction now. And it's exactly the same conjugation, so that doesn't change. So again, this is for you to kind of help yourself. So you'll see that the sentences are also almost the same, but reflecting the oppositional meaning. So now we're going to read them again for you.
Okay,
so even though my friend is Tibetan, she will not be able to speak Tibetan with me. So we have the nayang exactly in the same position as we had the tsang in the earlier sentence. But here the meaning is different, right? In our previous sentence, we have kecha she tubgire, and here we have gimare, because it's with the nayang, it's trying to reflect a different meaning. Okay, so let's continue. So although those practitioners are interested in the Buddha Dharma, they do not want to learn Tibetan.
So, lamgate yakpo menayang motatang dos tup siki mare.
Even though the road is not bad, it is not possible to be able to drive a car through it. So again, the translation is not very pretty, but you have this idea of the possibility with si and the ability with tup. Okay? All right.
So, Nego wa tezo tuzu tongba yunayang guru rinpoche drupu je yo mare.
Those pilgrims had some free time, however, they did not visit Guru Rinpoche's practice cave.
So, amala kesa yakala chinayang ngakala sakangla sagomare.
Although mother went to India yesterday, I must not eat at a restaurant.
Tukba number 6. Dunda jema rinpoche kaju nangya yinayang nganso yikse yozang sungshu shuga drotuki mare.
Oh yeah, so we have a lot of grammar in this sentence. This one, it would be nice if you memorize or really pay a lot of attention to this one, because we have lots of elements that we've already learned. We had the nayang here, we have the kar, we have the secondary verb tup, okay? All right.
We have tsang as well.
We have tsang, that's true also. We have tsang right here, exactly. So this is a good one to keep in mind. If you can memorize it, that would be great. If not, just practice making sentences like this. This is going to be our goal towards the final exam, to know these kinds of very elaborate sentences. So Rinpoche is going to bestow teachings next week. However, we will not be able to go receive Dharma teachings because we have an exam, okay? So you can play a little bit with this sentence and let us know in the class if you have any questions about it.
Tine timba 7. Kerang ki tuklo saba mangbo nye yuna yang kerang tadung nyondu tu. Okay, yang ja kerang ki tuklo saba mangbo nye yuna yang kerang tadung nyondu tu.
Very good. So even though you have loads of new clothes, you still want to buy some. Again, this could be something that a mother tells her child.
Tine jeba konzo kungsing la jobo doya ina yang tadung lega cheya mangbo tu.
Although they're going soon on vacation, they still have a lot of work to do. There we go.
So, Kuba 9th. Kong majen yakbo ina yang kala da mida sotukumindu.
So despite, you could also say despite here because it's the oppositional meaning. Despite being a good cook, he is unable to cook different types of food.
Tene juba.
Mm-hmm.
Kerang tukdula pep matup nayang jibochung. Kerang tukdula pep tup menayang jibochung.
Okay, so here we gave you both options again, like earlier. Even though you were not able to come to the party, I had fun.
나서 tene 죽식바 콩 침시 어gonda. 콩 la 침시 망보 연나양 캉바짱마땅 쿠심보 요래.
So now it's although he has many neighbors, contrary to the sentence before, the building or the house is clean and peaceful or quiet. Okay, all right, so we made these purposefully kind of the same so that you could really see the difference between Nayang and Sang. And I think it's just a matter of really spending time kind of how to say, deconstructing, let's say, these sentences and seeing how it works. And you will see that when we do practice in the classroom, it'll probably be very simple, okay? So this much for this lesson. We are going to jump into the nominalizers tomorrow. And so we will be jumping to lesson 18, 19, and this is lesson 14. So know that this is deliberate. And we wish you happy studies, and we'll see you in the class. And tujiche, again la ya, tujiche na.
라서 tujiche ane sani je용.
Sanin jeong gen la.
쉬고.